So I had a question for you, Adam, because
Mm.
there were kind of questions around. I know I did a little bit of an imping tutorial in one of the earlier streaming videos in this,
Yeah, I remember that.
but there was a question of is that really the best way to imp? We then uncovered other ways that you can imp through uh, the sweet spot imping that we were looking at, where you could get double the experience if that item was in the sweet spot and then you imped it successfully or something. And then there's the whole thing about, okay, well, if you had tools and you were just imping, is it better to imp, I don't know, 12 items one at a time, queuing them up like I taught? Or is it better to just have like a few items and you're imping just one of them at a time?
Right. I mean, I did do a little bit of testing, although it's definitely not extensive enough to make any definitive conclusions about everything. Um, I personally am feeling like the best way to get your skill up is to have the many items and queue them up, like queue up your actions so that you have longer and longer action timers. Um, because
Because
I
you're
keep
waiting
hearing about
longer.
this. Right. I mean, the longer action timers proportionally increase the skill gain. So
Uh-huh.
twice the length of the timer will double the amount of skill gain you get on that tick. So I mean, ultimately, you could potentially imagine yourself doing 2 actions in the time of that doubly long action and
Mm-hmm.
getting the same amount of skill like that. Like, so the only reason why the longer action timers are better is because it gives you more time to like AFK. So like let's say you're just queuing up once, right? And then you look away for a second and your action finishes and your character's just sitting there doing nothing for even if it's like 5 or 6 seconds before you might go, oh yeah, my action finished, and you start up another one. Whereas if you
Right.
queue up 3 and you look away for a second, chances are by the time you look back, it's like still going, or there'll be less downtime, I guess, you know.
But then you have, like, would it be better? The example would be to do 3 actions where each action you get a chance at a tick of a skill tick, or to do 1 action and that action takes 3 times as long, with the one chance that if you get that tick, you'll get 3 times the experience.
But if you
But
don't
if
get
you
it, you
fail,
don't.
it's all or nothing.
Right. I thought about this. I'd say that as long as the chance of getting a skill tick is the same for both, um, if you do this enough, then it'll average out to be the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's say your chances of getting a skill tick is 1/3. A third of the time you'll get a skill, right? So let's say you do 3 of those long actions, 30-second actions,
Mm-hmm.
right? And one of them you get a skill tick on average. Okay, but that skill tick's going to be 3 times as big as the one that you would do if it was only 10 seconds actions. So let's say you take the same amount of time, 60 seconds. Oh no, sorry, that would be 90 seconds, right? And you do 9 10-second actions,
Yeah.
right? And only a third of them is going to give you a skill tick. So 3 of them will give you a skill tick. And each of those skill ticks will be 1/3 the size of the big one. So it ends up being exactly the same amount of skill.
In
As long
theory.
as, in theory, like in theory. Now, somebody's mentioning, isn't it that you get more skill if you go above 30 seconds? And I'm pretty certain this is not true. In fact, I think that the way it works is that if it goes above 30 seconds, you won't get any additional skill. So let's say a 30-second action would give you 0.1 skill. A 35-second action will still give you 0.1 skill. Okay, so I could be possibly wrong about this, but this is what I've heard and what I'm kind of normally Someone said over 30 seconds in CA is 3 times. I verified it once.
Well, that's in saying
I
if one time is 10 seconds,
yeah,
and then 2 times is 20 seconds, then
yeah.
3 times would be 30 seconds.
Right,
And I
right. But
think we've
he's
got a
saying
problem with Adam's thing
audio.
again. Is
Oh,
everybody else hearing Adam as a staticky mess at the moment?
yeah, we were working on trying to fix this right at the beginning.
Or is it just me?
Oh, it's just him.
Okay, so it's just me. I have a problem with you.
Okay, knowing that though might narrow down what it is.
It does narrow down what it is, to be honest.
Okay.
I
Okay,
talk?
so yeah, hello? Testing.
Yeah, we're good. So
Okay. So if you're comparing, let's say, a 10-second action versus a 30-second action, you will get 3 times the amount of skill gain on the 30-second action in comparison to the 10-second action. But if you compare a 30-second action to a 60-second action, you'll get the same amount of skill gain between those two. Okay, so every second above 30 will not give you that proportional return that you would see when between 0 and
I would want to test this at some point. We're talking a lot. We're talking a lot about, you get potentially more experience if you're queuing up actions that in theory, it sounds like you could get similar experience, but we don't know. It doesn't really make much difference. Like, which one is it?
Right. I mean, here's the thing: is that so the sweet
How
spot.
do we know
imping
for sure?
Method, like, are you talking about the sweet spot imping compared to queuing?
How about just queuing versus just imping items, a single item, over and over again?
Right. I mean, I feel like in theory it would be the same. However, my gut is telling me, in practice, it won't be the same.
Well, that is something that we could potentially test.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if we can test now. Let's do it now,
Yeah,
except I don't have the tools. Let's do it now.
Well, okay, what do you need? What do you need?
I need a hammer.
Hammer? Okay, there's a hammer in the forge.
Okay, we need a skill, let's say.
Okay.
And I know that I don't have a lot of smithing skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
And EQ newbie for life, you're saying it's just sad it's taking you this long to find the game.
Yeah. I know that's how a lot of people feel when they find Wurm.
And so the question
is saying the same.
Yeah. So you found the game, you played the game, and what was the thing that brought you in? What was that aha moment? Because I believe with Adam, it was the old newbie tutorial.
Uh-huh.
And I think you mentioned it. You couldn't make it over the first hill or something.
Right. It was that you walk slower uphill, and that different terrain makes you walk slower. Just that aspect, that sense of immersion that it was giving me at the moment. That's that drew me in. And everything else that happened after that, but that was like one of the first memories I have.
And I guess Dalraced and whoever else that's fairly new. What was it? What was that moment when playing Wurm that you realized, oh, well, maybe this game has something special for you personally? And in this case, I know that there's a bunch of smithing items that we have not made or have not smithing skills. So I suggested we can do one of the armor smithing skills.
How about Okay, so I would say we could do either plate armor smithing or shield smithing.
All right. This is what we're
And
going to
maybe
do.
we could like, do you want to let like everybody? Do you want to let the chat decide this?
Yeah, let's do a quick poll.
Do a quick poll.
Do plate or armor smithing?
Because I mean, the only other one that I have like one in is like toy making or something. I can't think of another skill that I have that's starting from scratch.
All right, the
That's an
poll is on
imping
for
skill.
1 minute. You guys got 1 minute, and then that's the skill we're going to use as our test skill. And while you guys vote, I am, and the voting is above the chat. Again, if you look at the chat, you'll see the poll there that you can drop down. And I'll look at all of you guys here and what you've been saying. Zalbag, you said, you think you died 4 times trying to climb out of the water, not knowing there was a climb button. And Dalrace, you said, you like the idea of watching the servers change over time and being part of it. That's almost life-changing when you're coming from a game like Everquest, and
Right.
where everything's mostly static. Drogos, you tried all the theme park games, and you love that Wurm doesn't hold your hand all the time. And Willow, you're still waiting to feel that way. Oh,
Feel what?
you just
way?
gotta wait just a little bit longer, maybe another day or two, maybe. And Deathwind, you like platesmithing, and then boom, pops up platesmithing on the top. So I guess we're doing platesmithing, which I've never done, actually. I've never done platesmithing in this game. Ever.
Okay.
So
well,
this is
let's
going
do
to be
it.
new to me. Now, one thing, and I'm not a smith. Adam's the smith, so let's see exactly what this is. I don't have any smithing tools as far as I'm aware, which means I need to make myself a
Whetstone?
whetstone, unless they're... Oh, I already did that maybe here.
No, they'll be damaged if you put them in there.
Okay, so let me make myself a whetstone.
Let's see. What's the quality of my hammer here?
I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. Whetstone.
I do have a 50 quality hammer, and the one in the forge is only 40.
Please be 50 quality. Oh, I got a 10 quality whetstone. Try again. Come on, 51 quality. $42 quality. Okay, I can do better than that. And Willow needs a hug. And then Willow always needs a hug. These guys never give me one. Oh, oh, Willow. 51 quality.
Bugs, Willow.
Okay, so I don't need these ones. Let's dump them in the shelf. And I guess I don't need this stone shard anymore.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get the hammer to be about... I mean, it's not going to be perfect because I'm not sure the effect of the smithing skill has on success chance. I also don't know the effect of like the tool quality precisely. Like, and I meant not tool quality, but rather my tool skill. Like, I'll have a higher skill in hammers than Brian will, simply because I've been doing smithing. It looks like I can get this hammer to 50, not so bad.
So I'm going to light the other forge. Or should we just use the one forge?
We can just use the one forge. I kind of have a sense that gloves might be the easiest one to start with.
And how do you make plate gloves?
My guess would be iron lump on the large anvil.
Okay, so I will create a few of them. So let me add this to the crafting window. I will add a large lump. Plate gauntlet has a lower chance than a bassinet helmet.
Okay. Do you want to do bassinet helmets?
I guess so. Wait, what's an open helm?
Oh yeah, let's do open helm. They're the crappy helms, but
Okay, we got a
for the sake
31%
of
chance at making it.
yeah, I think it's better to start with something that has a 31% chance rather than something that has like a 14 or
Yeah.
even a 20.
So let me close some of these. And
Oh, Zalbag, are you hitting on me?
Zalbag. Adam's tune is no, he's hitting on your tune.
Oh, okay.
Let's look at his tune. Look at those. You know what it is. You know what it is, Zalbag. It's the forehead marks that you put on yourself. The forehead lines.
Oh,
That's what makes you look ruggedly. And Deathwind.
Gifted
And
a
the
sub to
intense
Willow.
eyes. Gifted a sub to
66
Willow.
subs.
Oh,
You
there
see
you go,
that?
Willow.
Deathwind. Wow.
They've given
Thank you so
66
much.
gift subs. Wow, Deathwind, you've been going crazy, man.
Let's see. I failed all 3 actions to get an open helm.
Did I get one? No, I didn't.
No. It's one of those things like 33% chance or 31% chance or whatever it is. And you'll get one every, what, 20 actions? Does that, like, work out? Sort of, right?
I got one. Yes.
Oh, you got one. Okay. You got one before me. So apparently...
What does it
Susie
look like
still
when you
has-
put it on? I don't even know what it looks like. Let's find out.
Is this the one that just goes over your eyes? Yeah.
Oh, nice. It's like a... I don't know, like a Viking helm?
Yeah.
How come I've never seen these? Are these fairly new or just nobody created them? Everyone's just like, nah, let's just skip that altogether. Is it like the small
like one
cart?
of these helms. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I still haven't made one.
Yeah, I failed another 2
Oh yeah,
times.
tower guards make them. Yeah. So I failed 6 times. Let's see how many times I can fail.
You do look very, very intense. Do I look that intense? I don't look that intense. I wonder why your character looks so intense.
Let's see. Is it like the forehead?
It is.
Forehead lines?
I got 2.
Nice. I still have none.
Still have none. You're the
No, I
smith.
still have none. I know. Okay, you ready to do this?
Yes, we have
Okay, so I'm
done
doing...
the backpack test. Now it's time to do the test we're all here for. At least I am.
So, yeah, you are. So is it that I'm doing one action, waiting for my stamina to come back and doing another
And
action?
then another
like that?
action. Yes.
Okay. And you're just queuing 3.
Wait. What's your
Waiting for the
nutrition
3 to-
at?
76?
Oh, I'm at 90. Does that change a lot?
It might. How did you get it to 90?
I sacrificed an item.
Okay. Are you at 99 then?
I'm at 96. I sacrificed it a while ago and had to eat something, I think.
Sacrifice this.
I can use refresh, but I know you can't yet. Or can you?
But I can.
Can you?
I can't yet. No.
Oh.
But I can sacrifice
been going
something,
on?
and that'll be effectively the same as refresh.
Okay, so we'll just both do a refresh.
Do you
The
have high CPC?
CCFP, that doesn't affect your skill gain, does it? But it does affect
it'll
your
affect the
stamina
rate.
gain.
Yeah, I'm just gonna cap out my CCFP.
I could use refresh on him, but then I would have to then go and sacrifice something to match his 99. Just tell me
just
when
gonna
you're doing the sacrifice, and I'll pop
sacrificing
my. Wait, should I get my CCPF up?
Yeah, get that. There's
So you already have
one
that
of the
up.
breakfasts in the. Yeah, I just put it up to 100.
I'm just gonna eat this
Thanks
one
to-
because I know this one works.
Thanks to Antirg. Thank you very much. for the food.
So tell me when you're about to hit your sacrifice
I'm
there.
gonna 5, 4, 3,
3,
2.
2, 1. Okay,
Go.
we're good to go. We both have 99 nutrition, 99 of basically everything at this point.
Yep. Okay.
We both have a backpack
right
with 5 helms.
now. 3, 2, 1, go.
Wait.
Wait. Okay.
I'm not ready.
You're not ready.
I haven't made any of my stuff yet. I know you do forging. Oh God. Okay, number 8 is free. So I'm gonna do lump. I should have done this before, shouldn't I? Water. You're gonna have to tell me everything. Lump, water.
Pelt.
Oh right, the pelt.
You should have a pelt. If you don't, I have an extra
here.
one.
I have a pelt.
Okay.
I have 2 pelts for some reason, and then
Whetstone.
the hammer. You said there's a hammer in here, I guess.
Oh, right. Wait, I was good. I was imping it. Hold on. Let me.
Oh, you were imping it. Okay.
Yeah, but then we got sidetracked by something else.
So I'm assuming it's this one hammer that's in here that's 46 quality. Wait,
yeah,
8.
you know how you need a hammer to improve a hammer?
Yes.
Right. So that's why.
That's why you have 2 hammers. Yeah, I've got the same thing in here. I've got a. Where is it? No, wait. It's this one. It's my mallets to improve my mallet.
Oh,
Actually,
right,
I'd use this one.
Yeah.
It's my mallet to. I leave it in the shelf.
I mean, what I do is I'll just use my hammer to improve the one that's in the forge to as high as I can go, and I'll put the old one in the forge, and I just keep swapping it out that way.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh, did Willow end up getting her armor? I just noticed in village chat she was asking.
Did you get your armor, Willow, if you're still there? Are you still here somewhere? So yes, just grab whatever you want from the shelf. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So if you want the highest level stuff in there, just take it.
Oh, three fails in a row.
No. All right, we're so close. So let's see what are we going to do? We're going to look for the same amount of time. The first person to 20? No, that's way too long.
Okay.
The first person to 15?
So? Okay.
How long do you think it would take us to get to 20? Is anybody like a plate armor smith guru that knows?
I'm pretty sure plate armor smithing is quick.
So is plate armor smithing like leatherworking, or is plate armor smithing more like, I don't know, weaponsmithing? No, where is it in that scale?
It's like leatherworking.
How long would it take us to get to 20 platesmithing?
Probably not long, but you know what we should just do is we both imp for the same amount of time and see who has the higher skill.
Right.
I think that should just do it. And if we get to 20, that would be
So
good.
You're talking about a countdown of some kind.
Yeah, as long as we're doing it for the same amount of time.
And to see if we
all
have
things
that
aren't
capability.
perfectly equal, but they're as equal as we have control over making it equal.
All right, let's just do it. No. Yeah, let's just do it to a skill level.
Okay.
Now, one problem that we're going to have is that you have more skill than I. So I could balance that out by just trying to make a few more of these helms.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah. Willow's bets are on Adam. Well, I mean, I'll be honest. My bet is on Brian simply because.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
My gut is telling me that the queuing is going to be better.
Yeah. So remember, I'm the one doing the queuing, imping, and Adam's doing an imping of one item, waiting for his stamina back, and then continue to imp that item, and just to keep going like that.
Yeah. So maybe we should do a poll to see what the audience thinks, what the chat thinks.
So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put a poll up for you guys to vote, and we're going to use that vote as the time that we're going to be able to that we get to imp. And
What?
we're waiting to see who ends up getting the better skill.
No, no, no. I
That's
was saying we should make a poll for everybody to make a guess.
right. So what I'm saying is that poll will everybody will be able to guess, and on top of that, it could also be used as the time that we use to determine how long we're going to be imping for. Because I believe I can set the poll. Yeah, because I didn't know how to do the whole time thing.
Yeah, we'll just do it to a level. That's fine. But honestly, I really don't think it matters. We're both talking to each other, so we could say, "What's your skill now?" And we can just see.
Yeah.
We can say 3, 2, 1, stop.
I'm trying to do a poll and it's not working. So I should be able to do it from here. Oops. That is not what I wanted to do.
Cats beats us both. Okay, so Brian the Cure
there we go.
wins for sure.
So who is
not if you're going for
to
body
win?
stats? Interesting. We could also keep track of some body stats.
That's going to be a bit harder. Adam,
let's see. I'm going to make a new skill tracker for just
if I'm the Cure,
stats.
Then who are you? You're the imp one item person?
Okay.
Whoops. It was too long of a name.
It is possible, although I have the role of the one who, if I get distracted even in the slightest, I'm going to miss lots of seconds.
Yeah.
And the other thing is I'm going to miss lots of seconds waiting for my stamina to regen over the time. That's going to rack up.
I might have spelt that wrong. But you got my name, you got Adam's name. You can now vote. What is your... So the question for you is, what is your current skill?
Plate armor smithing 2.69.
I missed what you just said because I was doing something with
2.69. 2.69.
Okay, so I'm at 2. Everybody can see. So I need it to get to about 6. If I can get it as close to 0.6 as possible, I'll be okay.
Yeah, we should have the Rocky music.
we shouldn't have the Rocky music.
We shouldn't have it because it'll... Yeah, we'll...
Oh god, it's a...
cut out this... What? It's a what?
Hold on. I'm still at 2. Got to keep track because once... I think I only need one more skill up. Uh-oh. You're right. Thank you, Reganation. I always forget that. So I'm going to get rid of this window, and eventually I'll be getting rid of this window. And it's why I can't wait until they allow us to make these windows smaller. I want to be able to fit more on my screen.
Okay, so my body
Did I get
strength...
a skill up? No.
I mean, I gotten some gains for mind logic, and body control, but not very much. I can keep track of how much I'm going to get here.
Okay. I mean, I can tell you guys what I'll have beforehand, and then I can tell you guys what I have after.
You know, I wish there was some work done on the skill tracker. One thing I'd like to see is reset the gains that are there. so you can like start from scratch. And there's another thing I'd like to see, and that is, you know how when you make a change to it, like you go into the skill tracker options, you change it.
Yeah. Oops.
And then if you switch to a different skill tracker, it like deletes it. It deletes all the changes you made because you didn't save the changes.
I think anybody that has used the skill tracker has come into that situation at least one time.
Right. You can log out. Right, exactly. I don't want to have to log out to reset it.
And it is exactly the same with tool belts. And so the question really is, why can't it automatically save it as you're doing the changes? Is there something maybe that they don't want to do that for it? Was there a decision purposefully made to not do that? Or did they just not think about it? Because it's literally just a change within a text file.
Right.
Right. So you add an item and then a text file gets populated with that choice. We've seen those text files. We have a video on those text files from a long, long time ago that we never have to deal with anymore.
Oh, thanks for the follow.
Epo nuts. I think I'm saying that wrong.
Like I feel like if like the only if it was a design choice, somebody would have to think that, like, if somebody's going to make a change to their tool belt, right? Like if somebody's going to make a tool belt, that the majority of the time that person does not want that change to be made or to be kept. Like that's the only reason why you would save it. If you think that any change a person makes, the majority of the time they don't want to keep that change, then you would make it not save.
Wow.
But if you feel the majority of the time, if somebody makes a change to their tool belt, they'll want to keep that change, then they should automatically save it. I don't know how many times I've loaded up either my tool belt or my skill tracker fully and forgot to save it and had to remake the whole thing. Right, like absolutely. 99% of the time, most people want it to stay. Exactly, like...
Right.
This makes no sense.
And looking at the current poll, it looks like everybody, or at least 5 out of the 7 or 8 people that have voted, believe that I would be the winner. And you guys have another about 3 minutes to vote for that. So if you haven't, go ahead and look at the top of the chat and vote for who you think would win right now. Here we go. Are you ready?
Right. I'm ready.
I am got my thing, and I'm going to queue up the 3 actions, and everybody can see my plate armor smithing here, which we're both at about 2.6.
Yeah.
Are you ready? I'm at 2.64. You're at 2.67, I believe. Not too much different.
8.
8. Okay, you ready? 3.
Ready.
2, 1, go. Here we go.
What the hell? What's happening? Okay, got it.
I don't know what's happening. I am imping 3 things, and I queued up 3 actions.
I must have not been targeted on Wurm because I couldn't activate anything.
Okay, and we are going to go until someone reaches, I think we agreed to 20. It was either 15 or 20. My sleep bonus is not on.
Wait a minute. You're imping in my bag.
What?
Are you?
No. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
That's okay. We all failed, so you're all still one quality.
I won. No. That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Brutal. Fail, fail, fail.
That's kind of crazy that we're failing to imp it even once. Is that just bad luck, or is it not like other skills where you can easily be imping those to like 20 when you first start? Because of the bonus that you get.
Well, you got 2 there, so
Yep. Queuing up
Yeah,
again. Viking versus pig. That's right. Good old pig teeth. I know the teeth are so prevalent in that filter. It's kind of crazy. All right, we got the Adam cam. So thank you, Slider, for that. We're looking at the way Adam is imping. Oh, there you go. You're gone.
Yeah, so the way I'm imping is I'm just
imping one, letting it go.
Oops, I keep accidentally doing it twice, but I'm basically imping and then repairing right after. And then I'm letting that whole cycle complete, my stamina regen, and then I'm doing it again. At least I'm trying to do that anyway.
This is as scientific as it gets.
Huh. So what are the sizes of the ticks that you're getting?
It's a good question. So let me go up to when I actually got a tick. 0.19.
Okay.
Was
my
one of them.
first actions give me 0.16.
I see a 0.15.
Okay.
But I'm not getting very many ticks, to be honest.
Me neither. Me neither. You need to be successful in your action. I believe. You could get a tick on a fail, but it's more rare. Yes, Antirg, this whole experiment is to see whether or not imping one action at a time, letting the stamina regen and just doing that, how that compares to queuing up 3. So we're doing that test.
So I'm queuing up 3, Adam's queuing up 1 at a time, and we're going to see first person to get to 20. Now,
this is going to take a long time without sleep bonus.
I know. That's why I was like, maybe 15? I don't know.
Which is why it doesn't matter. Like, if we compare our skills right now, I bet you we could figure out in the long run who's going to have the higher skill.
You'd at least need some sort of
law of large
longer
numbers.
time.
You need a good amount of data to be sure. But let's say
what's with
if we compared now and
the creepy window stalking Willow.
Right. If we compared now and you had twice as much skill as I did, we could tell for sure. You know what I mean? Whereas if it was close, then we would have to go for a little longer. But why aren't we? Why aren't I doing each helm getting 1 helm? Oh, I'm just going through the helms. I mean, eventually we're both going to have 2 bags filled with 20 quality helms either way.
But is there any reason why you think we should be doing 1 helm at a time, or doing multiple helms, or going through all of them? I mean, which we could.
I mean, I could do that. I could just imp 1, go to the next one, imp the next one. I could do that. I don't feel like it's gonna be that much different, but I could be wrong. So Antirg, you're right. You're right. The point, like if I imp the lower quality items, I'll have a higher chance of succeeding, and therefore I'll get a higher chance at skill gain. You're right.
Yet
at
he has a 19
skill,
quality helm and another 15 quality.
At low skill, I don't feel it matters so much, because your skill's bad, therefore you're going to get bad rolls a lot of the time. So you're going to fail a lot because your skill's bad, but you're not going to succeed 0. You know, like you're going to succeed some of the time, and that amount of time is going to fluctuate depending on what you're doing. I think if we wanted to optimize things, You're right. I would probably make like a ton of open helms, and I would try to keep their quality close to my skill.
And what is your skill? Just to give us a little update.
6. It just passed 6.
So I have
What's yours?
7.4.
So you're in the lead.
Not by too much, but if it keeps going this way.
Okay, let's see. You know what? I'm moving. I'm gonna take Antir's advice, and I'm gonna move down to my next helm.
Okay.
But you know, if you notice when I was imping that one that was just 17, like it was still succeeding. Because at low skill, you can succeed. You can imp things to much higher than your skill. I don't know if you'd notice this, but like, if you have 0 skill, you can imp to 20.
Yeah.
And by that time, your skill's like maybe 5, and then maybe you can push it to 25. Right, so you can probably get to 20 above your skill at the beginning.
That's right. Thanks, Antir. What's this? We got one sign that says "Go Griff, go," and another sign says "Farron, look, a squirrel." You know what?
How come I didn't even notice you put those signs there, Willow? I was just like oblivious.
And Rimthalin, you're saying if you don't do it both the same way, then the data is less reliable. And yes, this is completely and utterly not scientific, but what we're trying to do is try to see which one you would prefer to do based on this magical scientific way of doing it.
If you don't both do it the same way, then the data is less reliable. Like, so for example, you're saying to get more reliable data, I should be doing the same method as him. But then how would we ever know the answer to our question, which is which method will give you faster skill gain?
Right. But, you know.
I don't know. To be honest, we don't need it to be perfectly scientific.
Both ways on 2 separate characters that both start at 1 using the same tool sets.
2 brand new characters, exactly. And then do it. But what we're really looking for is...
However, there's always a random chance roll as well. So...
Right. There's randomness, yeah. But what we want to know is, like, in a real life situation, which one would be better? I don't know. Like, in theory is one thing, but, you know, in real life, like, I have to wait almost 2 seconds for that stamina bar. And I would go as far as saying that that's enough to account for the difference in skill gain here.
2 seconds each time. Is that what you're saying?
A 12-second skill gain with a 2-second wait time in between. That's like almost, that's over 10% loss right there in terms of time. Right? If I don't, and I'm accidentally not waiting sometimes because I'll jump the gun and then I have to cancel it, which adds an extra second or so.
But I guess Rim, I'm the one trying to imp through the queuing action, which I've got to do now. And we're trying to figure out which one would you rather do? The queuing actions? Or would you rather imp one item at a time like Adam's doing? How can we tell the difference of which one's better?
All things considered, if that gives you better skill gain and you have more free time, like you don't have to be on the keyboard looking at the screen as often, I'd say queuing is just far superior. Now, the exception is in the sweet spot if you have a sweet spot item,
Yeah.
so that is you're imping an item that is well above your skill. I think it's the formula is 77% of your skill plus 23. So for us, our skill is like in around 7 now. Let's see if I can do this while keeping this up. So 77% of that, and then we add 23 to that. So if the item was above 28.4, so let's say we had a 30 quality open helm, or like in the low 30s, and we were imping that one time like I'm doing, I would get twice the size of the ticks. Like I would get double experience. Okay, now that sounds great, but the problem is that you only get the experience when you succeed the roll. And when the item is that high and your skill is so low and your tools aren't that high, then you fail like a lot. Like you succeed maybe 10% of the time or something like that. So what I've heard people say is that in order to do the sweet spot skilling properly, you need to have really high level tools and you have to have decent skill. So like, I don't think sweet spot imping is meant for the low skill situation.
Right. And Rim, you're right in saying that we could potentially queue the same helm 3 times. Like I could do that. Although it adds some variables to it, in the sense that we're more trying to prove what a real life situation would be.
Oh, no, I think that he's saying,
makes sense.
Can't you queue the same item 3 times in a row?
Yes.
Like, can't you take one open helm
It
and
just
say, I'm
wouldn't
gonna
be
imp with
something that I would do.
But there's a very good reason for why you shouldn't do that, and that's because the tool changes, right? And
Yes.
if it
that's why I wouldn't
fails
do it.
and it gets damaged, you would interrupt, right? So there's 2 problems there. So if you want to make sure that all 3 queues happen, you need to do it on 3 separate items.
I mean, or I could just pop climb and do it that way, but like that's not what I would do in this scenario.
Climb doesn't do anything there. What do you mean climb?
It would hold my stamina in the right spot as I dick around and try to figure out which tool to use next or whatever. But
right, but that wastes time, I think.
In the sense that that's not a real world scenario. I wouldn't be doing that if I was doing this type of imping, and that's more of what we're trying to prove, and not really. We would both be imping in the ways that we feel we would be imping if we were doing it in that method. I would imp it this way, you would imp it that way.
Forever, I've never imped it this way. I've always imped it by queuing up, right? So
we at some point a long time ago in 2012, we came to the conclusion, or was told by somebody, this is how you should be imping.
Right.
I don't know how that happened. Don't know who told us.
Well,
but that's the conclusion.
We also did our own very minimal experiments, you know.
Yeah,
just
I'm sure we
test
did.
It out a little bit. We also came from Everquest, where there was a similar situation. I don't know if you remember this, but it had to do with weapon speed and damage.
Oh, right? Yeah.
So every weapon had a speed and a damage, and we got the sense from that game that it was better to have, what was it?
A balance, wasn't it? Would have been the best.
I don't remember now.
Who remembers Everquest and the whole? I don't know if it's still the case now, but it was, every single weapon had a speed and every single weapon had some sort of damage. And so actually, sometimes some people would say,
I kind of remember it being the opposite there.
But I don't remember how it was back in 2000 and when did we start? 2?
2002 maybe.
I don't know how it was back then before items actually had.
Faster weapon, yeah. Damage capped until 10. Okay, but after 10, that
Yeah, I think
I
everybody
kind of remember
figured it out.
that it was better to have faster weapons, like with the same ratio. So like, I remember there was one item. I can't remember what it was. It was kind of like a staff item. It
That's right.
had a 9 damage and 18 speed, and that we concluded that it was better to have a 9 damage, 18 speed, than it was to have double those numbers, like 18 damage and 36 speed.
That's right. There was weapons that had like so much damage, and then we just couldn't use them. I just remember that. Like, that has so much damage, but it's
so slow.
You know, the slowness isn't terrible, but it's still slower. And then we just realized, you know, we're not hitting at all, and it's not damaging.
It was like if you missed
enough.
like 2 or 3 times in a row with that slow weapon, it just felt like you were doing nothing.
Yeah.
And there were those odd times that you would hit 3 times in a row, but that.
Okay. I feel like we're going to run into an issue here that I didn't realize we would run into, and that's we're going to get to the end here. We're going to get these items up to 20.
Yeah.
And then what are we going to do?
Then what are we going to do? Exactly.
I think that's when we should stop and see how our skills are at.
The thing is, I think I'm going to get him to 20
we'll
faster
never
than you
hit
because I'm doing more actions than you.
You are doing more actions, that's right. Which I guess is another factor that we never really took into consideration.
Right. We didn't mention it, but...
However, I mean, it's not really real world situation. If you're wanting to get an item to higher levels without caring about the skill, you wouldn't be using this method of queuing. If your goal wasn't skill, but was to imp all of your items up to a specific level, you would be doing one item at a time.
So are we ready to to conclude that queuing is better? Like I just hit 12.
I love it. You're just like, I'm sick and tired of this.
I mean, well, okay, so there's 2 things that are happening. One is that the items that we're imping are getting up there in quality to the point where when I damage them, it's like 0.08 or something.
Right. Okay. So, last couple actions. Here we go. I think I have. Is this it? Yes.
And like,
so are you done your action?
4 seconds. Doesn't matter. I'm like way behind you, I think.
Not that much behind me. Let's take a look at what we got. I have 13.86.
Okay. And I have 12.06.
12.06. So almost 1.8.
5. Yeah, almost 1.8.
And you were getting, so we were getting, I mean, at my level, let's take a look. I was getting about 0.04 per skill up.
Let's see, I was getting 0.037.
What were you getting?
That was
okay. So maybe this was not a.
That might be. That one might have been.
Okay,
so
let's. All right, so let's take 0.04. How many skill ups would you have needed to reach my level more?
So 1.8 divided by, like, let's say 1 point, what was it, 3?
Let's just go with whatever, like
8.
0.4 or 0.04 or whatever.
What? That doesn't make sense. 1.8 divided by 0.038. I would need 47 more skill ups.
Wow.
Which is a decent amount. at 12 seconds in action, and let's say I would need to at least have twice as many of those actions. I would have needed to do 1100 more actions. Sorry, that's not right. 1100 more seconds. So divided by 60, that would have taken me another 20-ish minutes, 19 minutes. So you were like 20 minutes ahead of me.
So I got approximately 20 minutes ahead of you for doing the queuing.
Yeah.
If that
Oh,
makes sense. So
how did this all become like who's the better grinder? This was that.
yeah, I think I'm okay with Adam being the priest. But and I will stick as the leather worker. And I will also allow Adam to be the smither, the smithy, whatever you want to call it. The